All right. And welcome. I'm super excited. Welcome, everyone who is coming. This is my first Cha-Ching Hotline Thursday. And I'm super excited that we are going to have this time together. And if you are new to me, welcome to the world of manifestation, law of attraction. My name is Irina Portnova, and I love to work with the energy. And I am here to teach you how to do it for yourself because a lot of times we are so much into our heads that we forget to connect to ourselves energetically. And I'll tell a little bit about why cards are the tool, our tool for understanding ourselves better. Because a lot of times when we say tarot cards, right? Oracle cards. People all of a sudden start thinking about something, devil, something witchy. But again, this is the spiritual tool, and we all connect with that information in the best way we can. And it's all about what we are making the meaning out of that. So if somebody comes with the loving and beautiful, positive energy, trust me, love is so much stronger than fear. So we are living in the world of the contrast, right? We have positive energies, we have negative energies, we had bad things in life, we have good things in life, and we have love and we have the fear, right? And again, if we connect more to fear, where we were taught that, like you don't go somewhere and just venture out and start just pondering upon, because you might actually call the curse on yourself. This is all just for people who want to keep us in the box. Because again, if we look at the cards as spiritual tool that help us to navigate, to understand ourselves better, to have that self discovery. And I have to tell you that I've been studying the tarot cards for a couple of years now, and I continue because it's a beautiful, interesting journey. And they are actually helping us to understand ourselves better, because this is the part that we can connect to our intuition. Because we all have this inner GPS system, but a lot of times we do not really know how to connect with that. So, through the different cards, through the different messages, we can actually intuitively pull the cards that resonate with us and have the special meaning for ourselves. And that's how we can actually start seeing the answers, understand what is something that we want to know, and what is something that gives us more clarity and guidance in our life. And I love to do it because, again, we are all energetic beings. And a lot of times, if we do not understand something, we just want to avoid it. But I just wanted for each one of you to tap to understand what intuition is, right? Because intuition has nothing to do with the logic. Because our logical mind finds all the reasoning, finds all the proof that why things are not going to work the way that we want, because it constantly goes back and check our past experiences to see if this is something for us or not for us. But intuition is something very unpredictable, meaning that it has no logic to that. So I don't know if you ever had these instances in your life, but sometimes you can watch the forecast for the day, right? And you know that there is a sunshine, but you do not even understand your hand is grabbing the umbrella, and you do not even understand why, right? But you kept that umbrella, and then in the middle of the day it starts pouring. That's exactly how our intuition works. And the more we understand that it has nothing to do with our logical mind, it's all intuitively that we are picking up on something, the more we understand. Because initially when I was tapping into that, I was constantly questioning, is it my logical mind, or this is something that I'm actually connecting with and I'm just channeling, right? because we all are the channelers, but not everybody has these gifts developed. And if you have any interest in that, you can always tune in. You can always learn more in that field. And that's exactly what I wanted to kind of talk about before we dive in into the questions, into some guidance. Because again, when we come to this space, there are no coincidences, right? And the more we understand how the universe actually works, the more we realize that, hey, everything in this life has some kind of design. It's the same way as when we are wiring the wires with the law of electricity. We know if we are wiring the wires correctly, we are going to receive the light, right? But if something is wrong in the connection, we are not going to see that light. And the same thing with the universal laws. If we apply them correctly, everything clicks, everything works. So sometimes we do not connect the dots, but they are very meaningful. And the more you start to understand that there is no coincidences, that when we feel like we are running into the random people, where things just happening in our life, we think that this is coincidence. No, it just, we were all meant to be in certain places and certain times where we meant to meet certain people, right? So right now, as you're watching me live, you know that there are no coincidences. You know that there was something that was drawing you to join tonight, right? And I'm sure these messages are going to resonate with you. And we got the first message. Hello, Teresa. Teresa says, I use intuition all the time as a dragon, but I would love for you to pull a card for dragon intuition or something similar if you can. Of course I will. Of course I will. All right. So, like I said, let's communicate. Ask me any questions as they come along, but do not be in a fear, because there is so much knowledge that we can actually tune in through our intuition, through the guidance, through the messages. And first, I just want to pull some cards from the tarot, where I'm just going to tap into who are the people that join me today. Who are these people who came tonight to join, or maybe somebody who has been watching in the replay? All right. All right. Let me see. So I have Seven of Wands, and Seven of Wands, it's more describing somebody who is really fighting for their standards, fighting for their place on this earth. Maybe there are people who are telling you that you're not supposed to do what you are doing. And sometimes you feel lonely because not everybody understands your journey, but you are the fighter and you are fighting till the end. So there is no way you are settling. You are actually showing people what you are standing for, what are your boundaries, and you are going to win. All right, who else is here? Let me tap to another energy. Who else is here? I have people who I pulled Three of Cups. Three of Cups, it's collaboration, people who love to explore, people who love the companies, people who love people. That's exactly right. So, in other words, people who truly love to enjoy the life, understand what happiness is. So, these are also some of the energies that are join life. Yeah, and Teresa says that perfect, totally me, right? You resonated with the first card. All right, let me see another card. I'm pulling five cards. Okay, I also pulled Five of Cups. Five of Cups is, I'm sorry, yeah, it's Four of Cups. So basically, it shows that people had some disappointments in life. They did have some things that didn't work for them, some betrayals, maybe through the business, maybe through the partnership. So they did already feel the life not at its best, but now they're here because they want to change something in their life. All right, who else is the audience? And I'm putting magician, pulling magician. Magician is the person who can actually, like if we look at the image, it's somebody who actually knows about all the different, how to manipulate everything, right, in this world. So magician, it's actually manifester. So I see that the people are here who are ready to manifest big things, who are curious, who are wondering, and they have the full capacity to do that. So congratulations. Okay, and I'm pulling the last card. Who else is in today's live? Five of Cups. Also, people who might be doing something in the business, wanted to tap to money and abundance, and they've been through a lot of trials, and they really got upset, and they are still on that journey where they have to come back to themselves and realize that if you are consistently doing what you're supposed to do, sooner or later you're going to arrive at your destination, at your result. So everybody's here for a reason. That's why I'm super excited. Teresa said two cards resonated. The first two cards, great, great, awesome, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let's just see for collective. I wanted to say a little bit about, because we are talking about money and business, right? Because again, as business owners, there is a lot of things that we have to tap to on our own, and it's not that simple, right? Because again, we try something, something doesn't work, and we are constantly supposed to be in that curiosity mindset rather than in disappointment mindset, right? Knowing that if we are going to continue test and try, just think about it, any successful person also goes through these trials, and only the ones who are not quitting are going to win. So we all have the potential to win. But the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to stick and continue fighting for what you are meant to be? That you're continue to explore, and you're continuing to continue going this path. And just by being on this life, I know that you are ready. Oh, and Amanda says, all of these could apply to me at the different times. Beautiful. Yes, yes. Because life is also has its own experience on us, right? So let me just pull one card for everybody as the message. What is general message for everyone today? What is the message? Ooh, I love that. I'm going to read that. The message is bigger and better experiences are coming your way. You may not be able to see it, but great things are coming together for you as you read this. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Trust the process and let it unfold in divine timing. Move forward knowing that all is working out just fine. See, like we were talking about, just trust the process, right? Bigger and better things are coming. So I would love you to just remember that and stick with that. Hey, Judith. And Judith says, thank you. Life is full of trials and not giving up. Yes, exactly. And that's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of life, right? And like I'm loving, because again, these messages are tuning into the people that we are coming as collective, and something always shows up for us. And I'm going to put the one more message, and then I'm ready for any questions you have. So the other messages from money manifestation deck. So it's all about, like sometimes we are saying, how come we are working so hard? How come we are doing so many things and nothing is showing up for us? So let's see, what does the money card say for us? What does the money card say for us? All right. All right. Envy. That's the card. And see whatever resonates with you. Focusing on what others have can drain our energy. So sometimes maybe we are comparing ourselves with somebody else who is more successful, who is ahead of us, and we feel like, okay, it's so much easy for them. How come I am still not there, right? So this card actually suggests that when we learn to celebrate the successes of others, like genuinely celebrating, because again, this is something nobody was teaching us. We were constantly raised in the society where everything was competition. I have to be better, I have to do it my way, and I'm not going to explain to anybody else how I did it, right? because we were raised in that competitive space. But now it comes to the point that we have to stop comparing ourselves to somebody, and we actually learn how to celebrate other successes. You know why? Be as genuine as we can, because when we are sustained in that energy of celebration, we are actually feeling the feel of joy, of happiness. And at that moment, the universe knows that, okay, that person is ready for the similar success. Because remember, feeling is the answer. Feeling is something that we are connecting to, and feeling is something that actually determines our rate of frequency. So the more we celebrate others, we are just telling to the universe, hey, universe, this is something I'm ready for myself. So again, do not compare ourselves to anybody. And my invitation is, compare yourself to 3 months ago, to 6 months ago, because we are constantly, if we are doing something, we are constantly evolving, we are constantly changing. And this is the beautiful part, right? So just think about it. I just going to compare my journey to myself, because I am not the same person that I was even maybe a week ago, right? Because we are constantly on that path of growth, and something amazing happens, but a lot of times we do not even take the time to pause and just really reflect what's going on in my life, right? So my invitation is, pause and really celebrate yourself, and that's where everything starts from. All right, so I'm going back to Teresa question. Teresa was asking, let me see if I have your question here. Okay. I would love for you to pull a card for Dragon Intuition or something similar if you can. All right. So, are you looking for the message from the dragon that is specifically message for you, Teresa? Just let me know, yes or no. Do you want to hear the specific message from your dragon family that resonates with you? And obviously, we are working on money and business, so that message is going to resonate from that side. Yes, just let me know. Yes, that's true. Okay, great, great. So let's see what is the message. Let's see what is your message. What is your message? What is your message from your dragon family? What is your message from the dragon family? Okay. All right. Look at this. This is Four of Swords. That's the same. Like, remember yesterday you said you didn't feel well? And literally look at the picture of that character. He is just staying and resting. So that was the body was speaking to you yesterday, Teresa, right? Like you said, you feel tired, you feel like you want just to sleep and rest. And I told you, just listen to your body. And that's exactly what I pulled as the message from your dragons, saying, hey, just give yourself some time. Do not rush anywhere, because sometimes even staying contemplating, just, relaxing, meditating, or just staying in the pause, this is going to give us better results than constantly hustling. Yes, just let me know if that resonates with you. But this is exactly what was actually reflecting in your body as we were talking yesterday. So just the dragons tell you, rest, rest, rest. You are on time with everything. Do not rush anything. And just, in that pause, sometimes we do receive some insights, we do receive some ideas. And this is something that's going to help you even to propel, if this is something that resonates with money or business, right? Because we are constantly saying, okay, I can't rest because I have so many things to do. But the more we understand that we all have our biorhythms, and there are times where our biorhythms are saying, okay, this is the time for me to go. So I'm doing a lot of things, I'm taking a lot of action steps, but there is also the time for me to rest. And the more we understand our body, because remember, our body always talks to us, the more we can connect with the body and how we feel in the moment, the more we can tune into the messages, the more we know, okay, what is the time for me to do, right? And that's exactly how we are receiving the guidance. All right, Teresa, I'm going to pull another message for you because I don't see any other comments. Anybody else wants to know something? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, those cards are beautiful. This is for the tarot. It's called Golden Universal Tarot. I love those cards as well. So now I have another cards. It's all about feminine entrepreneurs, and I'm gonna pull the card from that deck and see what is the advice for you in terms of the business. Okay, innovate. It says innovate, innovate, and the message is your business too generic? Highlight what you can give to your clients that no one else can. Frame your offers in a completely new way. So, Teresa, I feel like these two cards are actually going to speak to you because I feel in the rest, during the rest break, you are going to tap to your contemplation point where you are going to think and just say to yourself, how can I stand out from the crowd? How can I narrow down what I am doing so the right people are drawn to me because I'm different? We are all different with our vibes, but sometimes we are too broad. And I remember when I started to do this work, I was also very broad. I was like, manifestation, let's manifest love, let's manifest business, let's manifest money. And now I started to narrow it down, especially when we are in online business. But you'll see people are going to come to you even though you are going to have your own niche. The right energies who love what you're doing, who are connecting with you, they would still ask for the help, and then you'll give them the help. Because again, we can help a lot of people, but when we talk from online space, we gotta be very narrow. Otherwise we are just losing our voice among everybody else. Because like I said, I'm going to focus on coaches and healers and creatives, because now I'm just talking to them, right? And whoever can really tune in, that would be resonating with them. And I still receive a lot of times people are just calling me or DMing me and asking, are you only working with coaches and healers? And I say, no. If you are seeking the guidance, I could be your guide, right? Again, if we let go of too much logic and just say, okay, let me just narrow down something and then see what's coming out of that, and trust that the right energies are still going to come to you. They are still going to ask for your guide. And the more you are in trust, in connection, in just, going through the process, you'll see people are going to naturally gravitate to you. Okay, Teresa says, they do very much. I feel like my YouTube music channel is thriving because of those messages, and they want more of my dragon songs. Beautiful, beautiful. Continue working on whatever is already working for you, right? We do not have to reinvent the wheel. Whatever is working for you right now, continue doing it, amplify on that. And if something doesn't work, just tweak and see, like, what if I do something different? And don't forget the most important thing, receive the feedback from your people, because your people could be your compass, right? Those are the people that you want to listen, what they're looking for, what is something that they would love to have, right? And the more you do the surveys, the more you do the polls, the more you're in connection with them, then it's not like we are creating something what we feel like, but more like, what is something that is needed right now for my people? What is something that somebody is looking for, right? So that's exactly how we are connecting more, because again, our main job is to connect with people, to listen to them, to be close to them, to understand what is something that is important to them. And those are the people that are going to buy from us. All right. Amanda says something. Just what I have been working on all evening, rewriting my sales page to be more specific. See, this is great. All right. Amanda, let me pull another message for you. Let me see. Oops. Wow. One card just literally fell down. Hold on. Oof. Okay, it says publicize, publicize, and the message is famous. Oh my goodness. So be ready for being famous. Stop hiding behind your computer. Get publicity for your brand. Be bold and visible in your market. Be the rock star that you are. Amanda, this is for you. And you know, it resonates big time with everything, with all the trainings you are taking. You are definitely pivoting. So just even sometimes when we are not sure, it's just the same thing as right now, right? Because this is my first live. Like I've been like pulling the messages for myself for a very long time. I've been reading my cards for a long time, but I was still hesitant. Do I come out, right? Because sometimes we are the ones to stand on our way. So I said, whatever it is, I feel like this is my call. I have to do this because, again, I love to do these intuitive insights because, again, sometimes we receive the information, maybe it doesn't land right away, but then just go and rewatch this replay and see how it's going to be integrated, right? The most important thing is we are picking up on the clarity, what's important for us. Because again, if we are sitting in confusion, if we are not sure how to move, we are just not doing anything, right? But clarity comes when we are taking the steps. Because if we are not taking the steps, how do we know if something is working or not, right? And if we stopped saying to ourselves, what if I fail? The only person that doesn't fail is the one who never tries. And we do not want to be that person because this is the average Joe Blow who is just sitting and working for somebody and just living an average life. We are here meant for more, right? We are here just to evolve and truly connect with our beautiful nature because abundance is our birthright. Hey Debbie, I see you. Yes, I'm pulling card for you. 1 second. I just want to give this, just saying something, what Teresa said, and Debbie, I'll come to you. You are so inspirational with your messages, and you drive me to success with that music career, along with being a mom up for. Thank you so much, Teresa. That means the world to me because, again, we are here to support each other. We are never meant to do this work alone, and it's super important for us because we are together the superpower, and that's why this space is super cool because whatever, no matter what we are going through, it's always better when we feel that support, when we feel that love. And I love you all so much. All right, Debbie. Yes, girl, you are here. Yes, would love a card, please. Okay. Um, what are you interested? Do you have like a specific question? If you have the specific question, we are talking about money and business. Any specific, maybe your purpose, you want to really understand what to put your life force to. Um, so just think about, like any question, just type. And as you are typing, I'm just going to pick up another message for the collective. I have this interesting deck. It's all about affirmation cards. So the affirmation cards, and I'll see what is something we want to tune in as far as our affirmation guidance. What is something we want to tune in? All right. And the message is balance. How important it is to have balance, right? Because if we can balance out ourselves in whatever we do, because maybe we are overworking, but we are not actually having enough rest. So that card, it says, I surround myself with people I love and enjoy my time with them, but I also take time to nurture my relationship with myself. Super important. Have that me time. I have found a healthy balance between being with friends and having self care time. And let me tell you, today we are doing me time. Right now, we are just, decided to show up in this collective space and tune in to our own energetic signature. and just see what is the message that we are meant to hear today, right? So that's important. And balance is for anything in life, right? How do we balance our emotions? How do we not actually sabotaging ourselves? And if something doesn't work for us in the business, we are not blaming that this is us, that, like we are not that skillful, or people are not buying from us. So balance meaning we know how to balance our emotions as well, because remember, emotions is the driver of our results, because emotions have their scale, and that scale actually very much resonating with our energetic signature, with our frequency. So when we talk about frequency, remember, everybody talks about vibrating in the high frequency. What does high frequency mean? High frequency means that we are just want to connect more to joy, to love, to authenticity, to gratitude. These are high vibrations, right? And believe it or not, shame is the lowest. Shame is the lowest. And a lot of times, how many times we were feeling that, like we are so ashamed of ourselves. So now just forget about that. It's not existing. There is nothing to be ashamed of. We are humans, and we are here on this beautiful human journey. And let's enjoy it to the fullest. We are actually spiritual beings having a human experience. And that's exactly how we are exploring, right? If we look at life as the playground, and we know the more we are having fun, the more we are lighthearted, the more we are enjoy, the more we start attracting better opportunities for ourselves. So balance our emotions. Don't react. If the bills are piling up, do not freak out. Say, I will handle it when the time comes. And for now, I'm just going to focus on income generating activity. Like, really be specific. Don't start your day by distracting yourself. Okay, I'm posting, I'm just on social media, because this is not the way for us to tune into the money. We have to connect with people whatever way we can, through DM, through groups, right? Just to the communities, something where we can talk to the human beings, and when we can be of the service to somebody. This is the income generating activity. So every day, wake up with the things: what is my income generating activity for today? This is super powerful. All right, Debbie, let's go back to you. What is my true life purpose, life direction? I'm so lost. Yeah, you know what? Lost is also good. And I congratulate you, because, Debbie, the only way we can find what is up for us is when we are actually just kind of curious, staying curious and asking the questions, right? The only way this is for us to discover. All right, let's look at your life purpose. Okay, I'll shovel them tarot cards. Hey, Nelly, it's great to have you with us. All right. What is Debbie's life purpose? Okay, let's see what it says. Okay, it's coming to the card like the relationship, right? So maybe you are good advising people. Just, like, see what I'm pulling as, like, information, and let me know if that resonates with you. Maybe you are good when, like, maybe a friend of yours coming to you and just crying on your shoulders and saying, you know what, I broke up with my husband or my partner, and you are there giving the advice. Or you are actually see, how people can be together with each other. See if it resonates with you, because maybe you meant to do something in the relationship field. Maybe something, like how people can really love each other deeper, maybe given the advice, connecting the people together. So let me know if that resonates, because there are a lot of emotions, right, involved. So that tells me that you're a very emotional person, that you can feel others, and you can actually tap into that energy of relationship, and you can give great advices. Let me know if that resonates with you, so we can look at something else. And let me pull another card. See, again, I'm pulling another card, 10 of Cups. And 10 of Cups, it's, see, like the family. The family, again, the love and the family, it's all resonating in one thing. So maybe you are meant to connect people for the families and doing some love and relationship work. Let me know if that resonates with you. And even if it's not resonating at this current moment, just take it in, because sometimes in our conscious mind we might not connect, but there is something that sits deep in our subconscious, and our subconscious already has all the answers, right? So just fine tune with that and see, right? Okay, what do you say always? What a relationship coach. I do not have a relationship yet, but hoping. You know what? There is nothing wrong when you become the relationship coach and you actually still working on your love relationship, because again, we are not perfect in here, and we do not have to be. We just have to be one step ahead of somebody that we are teaching something, right? So the idea that first I have to receive all the certifications, first my life has to be all perfect, then I can teach others. No, no, no. It doesn't have to be this way. Just discover if this is something that, like really resonates with you, if this is really speaking to your heart, right? And if that's something that gives you drive, that gives you the life force, just go for it and experience and explore, talk to people, be curious and see what's coming out, because this is the best way for us to receive better and faster something that we want when we start teaching others, because we are learning and we are growing and we are becoming in the same time. Again, we do not have to be perfect. All we have to do is be one step ahead of somebody that we are teaching. And because we are constantly evolving, we are constantly teaching, and we are learning in the process. Okay, what Debbie says, cool, I'm not in love relationship, but would love to be in one soon. I want to find my one true forever love. And you totally can. Again, we can manifest anything what our soul desires, but we just have to be very focused on that. We have to do the work. We have to keep reminding ourselves, if I feel like, okay, I'm going to end up alone, that means this is not the radio station you want to keep your focus on. Because if this is not your highest desire, you want to change the channel to, okay, what is my highest desire? I want to be in a love and partnership. And okay, if I'm in a love and partnership, what does it look like for me? Right? How do we spend time together? How does that person treat me? What is something that we are doing exciting? So just stay on that wave. And the more you connect to that wave, the more you're going to see all the possibilities. Like, see, like, even after today's conversation, I would love to hear back from you if you started to notice more love in couples around. Because remember, we are activating, when we are talking about something, we are activating our reticular activating system. This is already science, right? If somebody is not into woo woo, again, this is all energy. When we are activating our reticular activating system, that means what we are focusing on is going to expand. Just think about it. Reticular activating system is something that if we decided to go and buy the car, and we go to the Mercedes dealership and we sit down and just do the test drive on that Mercedes, we have that white Mercedes, we smell the leather on that, we are having the great ride, and then we go home and all of a sudden we start seeing in the highway one white Mercedes, another white Mercedes everywhere. And it's not because they were not around, but because our reticular activating system wasn't activated at that time. Now once we activated, what we are focusing on is going to expand, because our mind cannot process everything. So reticular activating system is actually acting as the filter. So it filters everything what is important to us. That's why we always say attention is important. We have to know where we put our attention, because whatever we put our attention on, the universe reads as our intention, right? So this is exactly very, very important for us. And Debbie says, do you see anything else for me about life purpose mind? So I'm just saying for you just to continue discovering. I'm just going to pull another message from the universe for you, Debbie. But my invitation, just sit with that, like do not rush. And it's interesting because our life purpose actually changing from time to time. Sometimes we think that, okay, this is something that we are meant to do, but as we are exploring, as we are evolving, something else is showing up for us, right? So let me read the message from the universe for you and see what pops up as far as the life purpose. Okay. The message says when you continue to reminiscent, replay, or hold on to what could have been, you continue to hold yourself in a place of resistance. Let what was inspire a new way of living, but don't allow it to limit and determine what can be. So the way I'm tuning in, it's more like, okay, just explore, allow yourself, okay, if love and relationship something that you would love to tune in, and if you are good in doing in giving advices to others, this is something that you want to pay attention to and see what's going to come out. Like I said, the more open we stay, if we are not really constricting ourselves, the more open we stay, something always shows up on our path, right? And it's like we are tuning in. One person says something, this is the answer. Now I'm moving, right? Because the universe constantly speaks to us through the signs. But we are learning through our journey, how do we actually read these signs? How do we pick up on these signs? So the more we understand how to do it, the more we can read the signs, right? There are repetitive numbers. There are just, like I love to look at the clouds because the clouds also have the different shapes. Sometimes, if I spot any animal, it's also the spiritual meaning, right? So, the more you understand, right, the more like the more you know that the signs are always there. But a lot of times we are just missing them because we are not aware. Okay, you say I'm also focusing on love, money, financial security, stability, right? So just focus on one. You know what the interesting fact how manifestation works? When we start working on one area, the other areas starting to pick up because what we are doing, we're just working on ourselves. The more we work from the inner self, the more it's going to project on our reality, right? Because our reality is the reflection of what's already inside of us. And let me tell you, we are living in the illusion. And the reality is something we are creating with our thoughts, with our words, and our actions. We are living in illusion, meaning that everything is in this universe is just like thinking like a clay, and we are just shaping it up the way that we want, right? Again, we are the co-creators with the universe, with the God, with the creator, whoever you believe in. We have that life force inside of us, right? So with every breath we are taking, we are also manifesting something, right? So if we understand the power of it, like trust me, we wouldn't just sit and think negative things because we are super, super powerful. So our thoughts are energy, our thoughts are frequency. The more, and everything starts from the thoughts, right? Everything starts from that substance, right? Something that we cannot tangibly feel, something that is invisible. But the more we connect with that, the more we realize what we are focusing on is going to expand. So my invitation, focus on something what you want rather than on something that you do not want, right? Okay, you say, I do really want someone to advise me about love and love matters, need help. Yeah, connect with me, Debbie, and we can talk about it more. All right. Nelly, I see you here. Would you like to ask any questions, Nelly? If you are still here, just pop up the question. I would love to answer it. And if anybody else has anything that you want to bring, while Nelly is popping up the question, I'm going to also draw another guidance. Let me see. Okay, which deck? Which deck? All right. I have a beautiful deck, and it's all about business. Let me see what card is coming for, because I know there are most people are business owners. Okay, and the message is about personal brand. Okay, let me just put it out. Personal brand, personal brand. Let me read because it's a lot. Your personal branding is a story in a world full of storytellers. As a business executive, the perception of your business will often be tied to you as an individual. Like a company brand, be deliberate with your personal brand. So think about, how do people actually perceive you, right? Our energy is very unique. So this is something that differentiates us from anybody else, right? So just think about it. How am I different from others, right? Like a company brand, be more deliberate with your personal brand. What are your relevant, what people know you for? What are your strengths? What your experience? And where is the place that you can grow? Because we can always grow, right? All of us can. Can you organize, judge, speak at events, publish books, post, make a website, or advise, hold offices in other organizations? So the message is that continue collaborations, continue talking to somebody. I personally don't like to work with organizations. I'm more like with the people. But if this is your jam, if this is something you want to work, talk to the organizations, talk to HR where you can present your work. Otherwise, just think about it. What makes me different, right? Just sit with that simple question. How am I standing out? How am I different, right? What is something about me? And start with your things that you know about yourself. For instance, I love everything to be playful. I don't like to be serious. I don't like when something is rigid or there are too many rules, because I love to joke to say that the rules were made to be broken. So just connect with what is something for you, right? What is something that you are standing for? What is something, and especially, like we are standing out more when we are not agreeing with everything, right? Meaning that sometimes just being controversial, right? The more you just fine tune what is something that is your vibe, what is something that resonates with you, and let your people know, because people connect with us more as humans. They are not buying from businesses, they are buying from humans, right? So the more we can have that connection with each other, because if somebody likes us, and remember, people might not remember what we teach them, but people remember how we made them feel. So the more we connect with how people make us feel, how we make people feel, we know these are the people that coming back to us, because let's face it, we all want to be in the energy of love, in the energy of peace, in the energy of joy, because this is what our souls are looking for. And like I said, we are coming here for a reason. There was a space, a reason why we are all here. And I'm going to pull the last message for today. And again, if you want to receive the free email reading from me on one specific question, do what I ask you to do. So after this live, just share on your personal profile what you like about this reading, and tag me. Whether you are on Facebook, tag me on Facebook. If you're watching me on LinkedIn, tag me on the LinkedIn, and I'll connect with you. And since we don't have many people live right now, so I can actually do that free reading for each one of you, but you gotta do the do. So do these things. Just tag me, say something about this live, invite others, and I'll do the free reading for you via email with one specific question. It has to be specific, not something like, how can I make more money, but more specific, right? Give me more specificity, because the more specific we are, the quality of questions is going to determine the quality of the answers we are receiving. And this is true. All right. I'm waiting for a couple of more decks coming soon. Okay, the last message. What do you want? Let's do on money. Let's do on money because this is something that, money is the energy, by the way. So when people don't feel, this is episode one. Yeah, this is my first one, Nelly. Yeah, you got it. You caught it. So let's talk about money because money is energy, right? And the more we are connected with that, the more we love money. Like we love the people in our life because money is just the energy. And the more we are in love with that energy, the more that energy is coming to us. So let's have another one. So the first message from money was we do not envy anybody. We are not comparing ourselves to anybody and we celebrate other successes as they are ours because this is exactly, I don't know if you ever notice because I go through a lot of trainings and shout out yes if this is something that resonates. For instance, if the person has the goal of like 5,000 per month or 10,000 per month, and then you see in the chat a lot of people are typing the same number, that's a true synchronicity and the true confirmation that you are tapping to these numbers. So say yes if you notice, if you ever go like for any master classes, workshops, or a couple of days trainings, and people are typing the same numbers that you have in mind, it's not a coincidence. Remember I said there are no coincidences in the universe. All right, and our money message is retreat. Retreat. Look at this beautiful flower. And it says sometimes taking a break is the best thing you can do to gain clarity and a fresh perspective. And Teresa, we already had this message, remember, with Four of Swords for you. And just saying that sometimes when we are pausing, whether this is just quiet moment, because our head is so busy a lot of times with all the logical things, we are just, constantly solving the problems. But sometimes all we have to do is just to quiet down so we can actually pull the messages, right? What is coming through us. Maybe it's even a nap. Take a nap. And when you go to bed tonight, this is my channeling for you. When you go to sleep, just ask one question to the universe. Say, universe, deliver through my dream, deliver through the messages. What is my next step to generate more income? And just sleep with that. Go back every night. Every night you go back with the same question until you tap to the answer. And the answer could come in a very, unpredictable way. Thank you so much, Nelly. Share with others. And like I said, I'll do the email reading for you. So just think about it that we have to sit with the question. If we have a lot of questions, the universe is confused. Just have one question until you tap to the answer. Constantly think about it, constantly talk about it, constantly you can even write that question, right? The more we are focusing on it, it's going to come, the answer is going to come. Either we might scroll through social media and we hear we see the message, or somebody talks about it, or maybe we are just passing by on the road and there is the billboard and there is a message on the billboard. So again, you are very welcome, Amanda. I'm so happy for everybody who tuning in. Like I said, share it, tag me, and I'll give the email reading for each one of you because it's not too many of you. So I would love to do that gift for you. So like I said, go to bed tonight and ask the universe, the God, whoever you connect to, and Teresa, your dragon, ask your dragons, beautiful dragons, what is my step in which direction in order to manifest more money, in order to tap to more abundance? And just know that the answer is going to come in anyway, but for us it's just like to pick up on these messages. And thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun with each one of you. Thank you so much for commenting. Now the next step is just to post something on your feed, whether you're on a Facebook profile or you're on LinkedIn profile. Tag me and I will DM you to ask what is your specific question related to money. business, or it can be even love or relationship, whatever. I let you pick and choose whatever you want to, because we have a lot of guidance. I have a lot of guidance, so I can actually draw great answers for you. And again, don't forget, don't be afraid of anything. These tools are for us to help us on our journey, because again, our intuition already holds all the answers, but we gotta develop a better relationship. We gotta be more intimate with our intuition, and that is the way for us to have more answers and to have more clarity which way we are moving and what we are tapping to. All right, love you so so much. Thanks so much for joining, and I'll see you on next episode next Thursday. So this is this Thursday thing. And meantime, if you have any questions, just DM me so I can cover them on the call next time. And like I said, if you're willing to receive the free reading on any specific question you have, I can do the email reading, but you gotta talk a little bit about what you love about this event, and just tag me on that. All right. Love you lots, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye. Bye. Have a great night.